Good morning. I'm Dr. Joyce Brown, the president of FIT, and I am delighted to welcome you to our third annual Civility Week. We're joining you remotely, but we have a week of powerful programming that I think will interest you even from a distance. Our theme is social justice, and by the time I have finished speaking, I think you'll know why. At FIT, the concept of civility is closely aligned with diversity and inclusion. Our longstanding goal is to be a community that reflects in our diversity the vibrant pluralism that characterizes New York City, our hometown. While we're not there yet, we still observe many different religions, we have diverse gender preferences, and come from many different cultures. We're old, we're young, and everything in between. We hold many different political beliefs. We are ethnically, racially, geographically, and economically diverse. So civility is the glue that holds us together. It's essential to our integrity as an institution. It allows us to listen, to ask questions, to get to know one another, to respect one another, to learn from one another. And I believe that the diversity that I just described contributes to our strength and is well worth applauding. Unfortunately, that's not how it always unfolds, as we learned last semester in the aftermath of the MFA fashion show, and then over the summer from students, faculty, and staff members who recounted in community conversations the many ways they were insulted or disparaged or marginalized simply based on their appearance. So it appears that even in an institution of enlightenment such as FIT, located in one of the world's most cosmopolitan cities, an institution that so much values civility that it launched this annual campaign in its honor, even here, ugly biases can fester and grow. Of course, it doesn't happen in a vacuum. In this same time period, the murder of George Floyd and other unarmed African Americans touched a chord that reverberated across the country and certainly on our campus. It unmasked for many the simmering systemic racism that runs through our society and created a clamor for a rebalancing of white privilege and Black progress. As this was unfolding, it seemed to me that FIT had an obligation and an opportunity. This was our time to seize the moment, to agitate for change, both internally on our own campus and externally in the creative industries that we support, the industries that employ our students. And so, as we were coming to terms with our own biases, a painful process for all, we began to develop a plan, a major, all encompassing plan that supports the values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Its ambitious, overarching goal is to transform the FIT experience for our students and our employees of color by wiping out as much as is humanly possible the curse of racism, and at the same time, ensuring career growth for our alumni of color who work in the creative industries. The plan spans generations with initiatives that will benefit the newest as well as seasoned alumni professionals. It accounts for the campus climate with initiatives that address FIT as a pluralistic community. And as I mentioned, it reaches outside our doors to affect patterns and practices of recruitment and hiring and advancement of diverse employees in the workplace. Much of the plan emerged from conversations we had with students, faculty, union representatives, and other employees starting in February and continuing through the summer. It builds on and it enhances programs and plans we already have in place. It adds numerous new initiatives, and some of them are quite exciting. I'd like to describe some of it to you, some of the highlights. And as I do, I think you will see how it relates to this year's Civility Week theme of social justice. It starts, of course, with our students and reinforces our longtime commitment to recruit and to develop a more diverse student body. That includes pre-college and college students of color. We want to expose them to the breadth of career opportunities in the creative industries and prepare them to qualify for entrance to colleges like FIT or perhaps FIT itself. And to that end, we have established the Social Justice Scholarship Fund, a new fund that will help us recruit and support more minority students from economically disadvantaged backgrounds. We have high hopes for this fund, And I'm happy to report that it has already attracted some very generous donations, including a significant endowment from 50 jewelry brands in honor of the late Black mid-century modernist jeweler, Paul Smith. Actually, one of the first steps that we took was to create an ombudsman position to safeguard our students against discrimination, unfair treatment, and poor service. We had heard so many disheartening stories of bias from students of color. And it seemed to me that often enough our students' complaints needed a different kind of approach than the ones we could offer by a Title IX officer or from a dean or a department chair or a college counselor. We fast-tracked this initiative and we had a job description prepared, but just then, of course, both the pandemic and the job freeze order from SUNY arrived, and so it is on hold, but it is a priority, and as soon as we can, we will make every effort to hire. Another new initiative is to make mandatory for all FIT employees and all incoming employees an annual training program on topics like harassment and discrimination, on unconscious bias and cultural competencies. So even if you went through the program last July, you'll have to repeat it this coming July and the following July and so on. Because rules change, interpretations change, we become lax. Our goal is to maintain an inviting, welcoming, civil environment. We're already implementing this program, and we're also expanding our curriculum to include, where appropriate, new historical and diverse perspectives. Several time-limited courses have already been approved. At the same time, an African American Studies minor is being developed, which has a rich complement of courses that include sociology of race and ethnic relations, fashion and slavery, and African American literature, among many others. We will also explore the creation of a campus cultural center where students can feel safe to meet, and who knows, it could even possibly be located in our new academic building. These are really just a few of the initiatives that we're implementing or will implement that address issues of special concern to our African American and other students and employees of color. But we have an obligation too to use our unique position at the nexus of leadership, development, education, business, creativity, design, innovation, sustainability, to transform both the leadership and the cultural competencies of the creative industries that we support. It's here, as I said earlier, that our alumni earn their living. But it's also here that our alumni of color so often stagnate. They're hired based on their superior skills, but with no connections, no network of friends or contacts. They are often overlooked for mentoring or for advancement. These talented alumni either remain in low-level positions or they just leave. So it's not a coincidence that only 4 of this year's Fortune 500 CEOs are African American. And so we established the Social Justice Collaborative, a collective of creative corporations whose primary goal is to change the culture and practices that serve as obstacles to diversity within their organizations. We reached out to our industry friends, and the response was quick and it was easy. We have CEOs or senior executives from 15 companies or organizations on the Collaborative's Advisory Council, such as Kering, Amazon, G3, Carolina Herrera, Mary Kay, and Harlem's Fashion Row. We've held a couple of meetings and they've been very productive, and we want to develop a pipeline. Call it a cradle to retirement pipeline for talented students of color, middle school and teens, some in our pre-college programs, all the way through college graduation, offering mentoring, internships, scholarships, apprenticeships, job placement. And they're very serious about it. Like the work we're doing on our campus, they want to eradicate bias and really open up opportunity for minorities so that they too can advance to the former office. We're also developing a series of programs ranging from speaker series to a film festival to an executive education program, all with social justice as the dominant theme. At the heart of these efforts is the promise of alleviating the impact of systemic racism, and with that, the flourishing of diversity, inclusion, and equity. It will take time, of course, to put it all into place. But as the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, real change, enduring change happens one step at a time. So this is real change, profound change, underscored by the power of our industry partners working in lockstep with us. And I look forward to working together with all of you, one step at a time, to make it happen.